Olympic hockey should start allowing fighting in the game because it would make it so much more exciting. Said nobody ever. And the reason nobody ever does say that is because it is the most exciting hockey you could ever watch. Every 4 years, hockey-playing nations from around the world gather the most skilled, strongest, talented hockey players there are, men and women, and they bring them together at the Olympic tournament, and we witness the byproduct of that. It is phenomenal hockey, and it doesn't allow fighting, and it doesn't need fighting, and as a result, we focus on what we should focus on. Get over here, bud, come on. What we focus on is the skill of the players, the excitement of the game, the synergy of the playmaking, which is, to me, what's attractive about hockey, not the fighting. And yet, here in North America, anyhow, with the National Hockey League and professional hockey, you have the decision makers at the top and you have the owners who condone fighting. They will not get rid of fighting. In fact, they actually make the argument that fighting keeps the game safer. Okay, repeat that 10 times and just see if you can make it make sense. I just don't know how. And what they reason is that without fighting, you have retaliation. And so now players think twice about dirty hits because they know there might be something coming on the other end of that. If that's true, I just think it's a horrible commentary on the sport itself and who it attracts, right? If the Olympic tournament has no problem mandating there is no fighting allowed because the players understand if they fight, they're out of the tournament. In the NHL, however, the owners think that it adds to the game, and it doesn't just keep it safe. They think it makes it more exciting. It's an 82-game season. It's too long, and sometimes the games are boring, right? Let's face it, the hockey falls off in some parts of the season. And so having a fight once in a while kind of revs it up, right? For all those people who love that kind of stuff. The disappointing part in that is that fighting is killing hockey players, right? In the last decade, we've had more than half a dozen young men die prematurely due to the impact of a condition called CTE. I'm not going to say what it is because the third word is gonna trip me up. You're gonna have to look it up. CTE. Go have a look. What it is, though, it's a condition that happens in our brain as a result of repeated trauma, like from fighting. And there are a number of enforcers who have died in the last number of years prematurely at a young age. And the reason being is because living with CTE is apparently debilitating and horrible, right? Anxiety, depression, memory loss, rage, confusion, and addiction is often the result, and then suicide. Go team. But apparently that's okay with the owners and decision makers with the NHL, because as long as it's feeding their bottom line, they just don't seem to want to talk about it, and they don't care. And I think that's the sad commentary on hockey right now, is that we don't want to acknowledge that the game, that what we call the game here in North America, where we allow fighting, is killing people, right? And yeah, it's a prickly conversation, and I get it, but people need to take ownership, right? We need to end this thing once and for all. If you can get rid of it in Olympic hockey, you can get rid of it in NHL. And you don't need the retaliatory threat of a fight in order to enforce rules. You just simply need to fine the crap out of players who fight. And then maybe teams, if teams fight, they get fined. But you can end it. If the owners wanted to end it, if Gary Bettman and all the decision makers in the NHL wanted to end fighting, they could do it in a heartbeat. It would just take some gumption, some courage, a few other things that hang between their legs. They just have to have that in order to do this, to finally do this. Hockey needs to change its culture there's a huge opportunity to raise the culture of hockey and get rid of fighting once and for all and make it about the game, make it about skill, make it about the speed and the excitement of playing the game, not the goonery that we see around fighting. Whoo, baby. Yes, it gets me a little riled because it's just one of those things that doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that people, that young men are losing their lives prematurely because of the greed associated with that game is, it's pretty off-putting. So I don't know. I don't know what your position is on this, obviously. I mean, there's two sides. There's those who love it, those who don't like it. And I just think we need to finally come into 2024 and frickin' end this once and for all. So in the meantime, I'll take a deep breath. Take care of yourselves. Share the love, right? Share the love. Not this stupid display of machismo and bravado that we see sometimes in hockey. And and we'll see you in a week. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.